Hello everybody and welcome to another Transformers third-party review. Thanks to the team over at Robot Kingdom, I have finally managed to complete my Zeta aerial bots. This is the ZB-04 Catapult and the ZB-05 Downthrust, aka Slingshot and Skydive. Quick look around the box. Nothing untoward that you wouldn't expect. You've got your build your own Superion picture, and you've got jet and bot modes. And here we have the two hunky chunkies out of their packaging. Now, before we take a closer look at the actual figures themselves, let's take a look at the accessories they come with. They both come with their own sets of rockets, which can attach in their jet mode. We get two sets of these. We get baggies of screw pegs, which just literally cover up the screw holes if you choose to. I personally don't use these. I always worry that I'm going to get them stuck where they shouldn't be. That sounds a bit crude, doesn't it? And this time we actually get two extra heads. Now these, of course, are to replace the heads on Air Raid and Fireflight. Here they are with those heads changed out. I think I've got them on the right heads. I don't know. Our internet's down today. They're doing some maintenance around this area, upgrading the fibre op. So I can't even check. Could be wrong. I don't know. But they look better and they look more cartoon inspired than what the originals did. And I'm happy with that. First up, let's take a look at Slingshot. I believe he was a white Sea Harrier jump jet. Correct me if I'm wrong. In the cartoon we saw him with various different colour faces. Sometimes his entire face was orange, sometimes it was just the lower face. Love how he looks. Now in essence these are just retools of one another, which I'm okay with, but these are really gorgeous looking figures, and it does make me wish I could afford bot mode and combiner mode, because they do look exceptional. Articulation on these is pretty much identical to each and every limb. Heads can look up, down, left and right, rotate. They have lovely smooth arm motion, really nice, comes up nice and high. We've got a double jointed bend on the elbow and rotation on there, rotation on the wrist and articulated fingers. We have rotation there on the waist, no up and down abdominal crunch though. We have hip skirts to the front and side, which allow for motion this far forwards, this far back, out to the side, and a lovely ratchet there. Upper thigh rotation, gorgeous bend on those knees, and we get pivot up and down on the toe. It's more cosmetic than anything else, but it still looks good nonetheless. Now, like the other aerial bots in this series, the option is there if you wish to detach the wings from the legs, just to tidy those up and kind of make them look a bit more cartoon inspired. And of course we are going to need the wings for the transformation, but I like that we have options. Now, one of the biggest gripes I have with this figure is that the chest doesn't really feel like it tabs in as well on him as it did on the first two offerings. I don't know whether they've just pushed them out slightly quicker than they should have done really to get them out for the Chinese New Year. Don't get me wrong though, it's not a bad figure at all. It still looks and does what it needs to. It's just, I don't know. I just don't think the resistances on the tabs are quite as on par with the first two offerings. And taking a look at Skydive, probably the weakest head sculpt of the lot I think, but even then it's a good sculpt. Just something a little bit off about those pouty lips, but really wonderful colours. I love this grey that they've used. Now in the cartoon I believe he was based on an F-16 I think, and he's got his Nega gun there as well. Again, if you choose to, you can have these sections removed. Personally, I wouldn't see the need to remove them. I mean, he tidies up pretty well. He is an aerial bot at the end of the day. He's no worse from behind there than a Seeker. so happy that we've finally got all of these completed. And if this is your first time seeing how these scale, here they are alongside Magic Square's Optimus Prime, who is in essence an MP10 scale figure. I think they look really nice together. Silverbolt is larger than these two, but not horrendously, and I honestly do think these look exceptional. Now with regards to full comparisons, I will do that when we get, I'll do that for the KRONOS review. I'll get them all out in their bot and jet modes, and we'll take a look at how they all look. But for now, let's fold the fists inside these arms, fold the arms back on themselves like so, and then bring that back off. Head comes down, we've got these chest pieces here. We can now push those in. Those are going to collapse into the center. Push these tabs up, push this tab up, and now that we've made this void, the arms are going to collapse down, and they're just going to sit just above the leg on either side. They will only go in if they are perfectly straight, and they just push and tab like so. And with those now compressed, we can flip the head over, and with a little bit of magic, that just pushes in and tabs in perfectly. You can now bring this front section forwards, pull and separate these two sections. That allows the nose cone piece to come out of the void. These will then push and close back off. Now, depending on how you're going to display him, you can pop the landing gear up on the inside here, but because I'm going to be having him in jet mode, just so we can take a good look around, we're going to flip that landing gear out, open up the rear of the legs, and we've seen this before with other figures in this line. Just slide these legs back on the inside like so, close those off. The feet collapse in on themselves. We can undo these tail fin sections. This piece here is going to fully extend outwards, and then using these tabs here, this is going to come all the way out, and that's going to line up and slide into position. Roll these on that hinge, and then push in. These then push and line up. That's all tabbed in, that's tabbed in. These can then tab around, rotate, and then slide up, holding all of this into position. So rock around the clock tonight. And there's two little pegs underneath here, and these just reach over and push and tab in on the underside. We can then bring in our weaponry if you see fit. You don't have to, but if I'm displaying them in jet mode, I like them to have some form of weaponry. Now we have wheels here. This section comes up, these come out to the side, and then that comes down. And there we have him all transformed up. That's a gorgeous looking jet. Absolutely adore the colors. I just need to make sure that this piece here is lifted up as well. Very, very happy with how that looks. Probably my favorite jet out of the set thus far. And to get our second figure transformed up, we're going to hide the hands, bring his arms forwards, and we've got these tabs on the top here. These are going to lift up like so, and that allows this entire chest piece to come off. Bring these tabs around to the underside, so make sure that these shoulders are all the way back so that they can flip around. This rocks up on this hinge, and that's going to push and tab in like so. So again, on this side, rock this up on the hinge, and that's going to push and tab in like this. These are then going to slide in to that void like so. that just pushes in. This can then come untabbed. That's going to come forward. We have this point here with the wheel on that can come up, and that's going to come all the way over and push, tabbing in and securing, and then with a little bit of rotating of the head, that can just slide in, and these pushes and collapses in like so. Same sort of thing with the legs as before, just open those up and slide those all the way down into the inside of the jet. Feet come out, rotate and push down, collapsing into the void, and then these are going to line up. The only downside to figures like this is they always look a lot more complex on camera than what they actually are, because in real life you won't have to be worrying about keeping everything clear of the camera so people can see, and so people don't moan that things are done off camera and off shot, whereas in reality you don't have to worry about any of that. You can just transform your lovely little figures as you see fit. So we're going to bring this piece back all the way along here, and we've got these tabs either side here. They're going to just tab in and lock in to either side, and again, oh nice, the tail fin is going to come all the way over, and as if by magic that's going to attach together, push in, these are then going to lip over like so, these are then going to come down, and then it's just a matter of straightening everything off. Okay, fair play, that is exceptional, absolutely adore that. We have a clear winner. Oh, that is lovely. Got the turbines there at the front. Really nice length there. Got a few tempo prints and amongst all of that, but it holds together exceptionally well. It looked worse than what it was getting it all together. It's definitely a little bit more hands-on, but I love the fact they've got such a difference in these jets, just with the height and the length, etc. They really do look exceptional though. Can't wait to show you all of these together in their jet modes as well. I mean, we knew they were never going to be masterpiece scale when it comes to their jet forms, but doesn't stop them looking amazing. Right, and lastly, before we finish up for the day, let's just detach these wings. Let's get the missile pods off. We don't need missiles where we're going. Flip the landing gear upwards, detach this nose cone piece, detach the tail piece. This is going to come up. The landing gear goes inwards, bring the head forwards. We're then going to detach this section. These arms are going to come out and out, because we are going to use this torso piece. So that's going to rock upwards. These arm pieces slide in either side, locking that firmly into position. Push the combining tab up, and with this joint now visible, this is going to slide in, and the head just basically slides into that void, and this pushes and locks into position. This can then come over, and from here this joint comes around to the side, and then this comes up like this. Fold this up, rotate it around, and that's just going to close off, tidying that section off. We can then open up the underside like so, and then with that opened up, we can bring this over and around, in and tab in nicely. So we're going to bring that up, rotate that around and slide that back down. And then from here we now have space to split these open and slide in our hands. So yeah, it's a little bit more panel-tastic than what I would like, but of course you don't have to keep these pieces on if you don't want to. You can just remove them. You can also bring these panels up and have those across the top if you want to. It's just a matter of preference. These don't want to push and tab in as nicely as I would have liked, but beggars can't be choosers. That is still a ruddy, amazing Superion arm. And again, with a very minimal amount of effort, we can transform our last figure into a leg. So you want to fold those wings up, make sure the landing gear is tabbed down like so. This splits, this comes up, and as we bring this up, you want to open up this piece here. That's going to come down, this will close off. These are just going to split because these need to fold down, and this one needs to fold down as well. This comes up, and with this tab open, this allows this to come all the way out. Then tab in together. This is then going to push back down and lock into position. And with everything tucked back nicely, really does tidy up. We can then put the feet in. There are multiple things saying the sole is not included in this set. So apparently our aerial bots individually are soleless. Down, and then you're going to slide them back so they tab in fully like so, and then we can bring this front piece up, and again that's going to tab in ridiculously tightly on to the back there, and that is 1,000 gazillion times better than what we got with Bruticus. So there we have it, our two final limbs. Honestly, can't wait to get Superion all combined up. That will of course be in the next video. I've included a link where these can be purchased over at Robot Kingdom. Don't forget, it is the Chinese New Year though, people, so things may be delayed getting shipped out. Until next time, from myself, Catapult and Downthrust, thank you all ever so much for watching. Until next time, goodbye.